talking about Batman the animated series. We're making our way through season 1. We're almost getting there.
They're good.
They still hold up.
They still hold up.
They really do.
Just to kind of jump into them, what did you think of The Last Laugh?
The Last Laugh, I thought was a very, it reminded me of something like out of the 70s, 60s sort of Batman comics where the Joker does something, like Laughing Fish or, puts the whole town in hostage, but it's not like something like serious. No. Yeah,
it's pretty serious.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And then not something like The Dark Knight where it's like with bombs or like holding, like choice. It's just the like laughing gas and everything.
Well, because I thought it. What did he say? Because I remember early on in the episodes they even say like we have to fix this now, or else they slowly go insane.
Yeah.
Or else like if we don't fix, and that was kind of like their thing. Because I remember even when they were developing the show, they were like, we can't have the Joker murder people.
Yeah.
Because in some earlier comic books,
he kind of he did in the movie Mask of Phantasm, but not in the cartoon itself.
Yeah, I feel like the Mask of Phantasm, because it was actually getting a theatrical release, they could do that. Because they could just get a PG-13 or a PG rating.
Yeah.
But on TV you can't do that kind of stuff. Like especially with cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, you could not kill somebody. That was the whole reason why they came up with the laughing gas, like mythology.
Yeah.
And everything else, but. Yeah, so Joker holds Gotham at bay, or Gotham at ransom, and tries to mess with Batman. I mean, it's a pretty simple episode.
It's very straightforward. I like the straightforwardness of it, though. It's just one concept, and it's like one thing, and it's just that's the whole episode.
And it has Joker kind of running all over town, and Batman trying to catch him.
Yeah. And
it really does show the great dynamic that both Mark Hamill and also Kevin Conroy have, this like great chemistry between them where it's perfect antagonistic, where they, one can just for some reason it just sounds like they can just perfectly antagonize each other, or like they know the buttons to push.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just really good. It's really good. That's why I feel like they're the best. I feel like, every single time I read a comic book, I always think Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy's voice.
I do that as well.
Yeah, reading it with their voices in mind, like kind of like reading it over. Yeah, it's always a good it's always a good way to read it. But is there anything special about this episode that you want to talk about?
No, I was just gonna say I love the little like motif of the theme. That's like there's like there's this like one musical theme that just keeps playing as like Joker like spreads his.
I feel like that was I feel like they got the idea from Batman 89.
89. Oh yeah.
With the laughing gas, it's kind of like what's happening is he has the same. As long as you have the scenes where he's like the gas is spreading.
Yeah. No, I could.
It has that same like musical score.
Yeah, I could see that as well because the show is very influenced by Batman 89. Because it's coming out. This is 92. It's like right before Batman Returns. 89's already came out, still in the public consciousness, excuse me. Yes. And a lot of the Batmobile looks pretty similar to 89.
The gothic appeal to it, the mixture of between, like this like 1950s but also
90s
tech.
So the Batwing looks pretty similar, and even though Shirley Walker, the composer, she does like a motif on the Danny Elfman's theme, but it's still kind of using dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it still has those dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's still like
still has the melodies.
Yeah,
very much so. And I do feel like this is kind of like their homage to the 1989 movie, because how much closer can you get to basically the 1989 movie of like I'm just gonna make everybody sick with laughing gas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. It's as close as you can get to the 89 movie.
Have more like Prince songs, I guess.
Have more Prince songs? Yeah, man. Party Man. Was it Bat Dance?
Bat Dance, yeah.
I played that for my students, and they were just like, what is this?
I'm like, what the Joker dance to.
I'm like, it's Prince. They're just like, what? I'm like, yeah, the Joker dances to this, and it's called Bat Dance. They were just like, that's a real thing?
Yeah. It was a weird time in the 80s, yeah.
The 80s is a weird time. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, to kind of move on, because I mean, that one, like we said, very simple. It's basically 22 minutes of Batman chasing chasing Joker
Joker,
around,
yeah.
trying to get him to, trying to get the antidote and trying to do everything else. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's no further themes than Joker just trying to piss off Batman and get a rise out of him. But Eternal Youth is an interesting concept. The idea of Alfred and Paige kind of going to this spa that Poison Ivy has been, which is now operating, and the facilitator for, and
first time she comes back here.
It's so interesting, this idea of mortality that kind of comes up, because they do really kind of question this idea of like, what about if I was younger? Like, would I change things? Would I do everything like that? Would I still be Alfred Pennyworth?
Yeah.
And I really did like this idea of it's a episode that's about Alfred.
Yeah.
Instead of about Bruce. And I think that was like one of the cooler things about Batman Animated Series.
Alfred
I think that's a great idea of Batman Animated Series, is that there are a bunch of episodes where it's just like, what if Batman shows up the last 5 minutes? Just to kind of save the day.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Similar to POV in terms of storytelling, where it's not just necessarily centered on Batman.
Right.
Interesting, the writing of these episodes, that they're like, let's have an episode about Alfred or like Harvey Bullock or something.
Yes.
I mean, there was like 90 something episodes, so they had a lot.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes that I think that also works out in their favor too, because that made them think, well, we can't just have Batman in every single episode.
Right, yeah.
Like Bruce Wayne defeating a villain. How many times can we talk about his daddy issues? His parent issues in like a single episode. We're going to have to talk about other people. And they do it really well with okay, so cool, we're going to talk about Alfred. We're going to talk about, what does it mean to be Alfred Pennyworth? Does he have a good life? Does he like his life? Because nobody really talks about Alfred. They're just like, yeah, Alfred's there. He's the boy. He's very much Bruce's dad.
Yeah.
But nobody really talks about Alfred. Like, nobody goes into, like, his backstory a lot. Nobody goes into, like, how he got into with the Waynes. It's just kind of like, yeah, Alfred has always been Bruce Wayne's father.
Yeah.
And it's nice to kind of dive into there and kind of see what his hopes, his dreams are.
And it fits in the show. It's not like something like, what's that show about, like, Alfred? Was it just called Alfred? It was on
Pennyworth.
Pennyworth.
It's called Pennyworth. I think it's still going.
Is it still going?
I think it's like on season 2 or 3.
God damn it. Where, like, something like that's like...
Where he's, like, part of the British mob.
Yeah. Where it's, like, it reminds me of, from Teen Titans Go, the movies. You've seen that.
Yeah.
There's that joke where it's like, they show all the trailers, like, here's a spin-off of Alfred, or like, the Batmobile, or like, Batman's utility.
Oh yeah, like, everything needs a spin-off except for Robin.
It's
just like, when do I get a spin-off? When do I get my own spin-off?
Yeah, you got Titans. So.
Yeah, you got Titans.
Yeah, you've been enjoying that.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into that.
All right.
That show's a mess. They killed off, like, one of the best characters.
Oh.
And then just went like, yeah, Jason Todd did it.
I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah, it's not the story of Jason Todd is such a great story. It's so good, and it gives you so much depth, especially when Jason Todd comes back, because if you do it correctly, you can have this real morality tale between him and Batman.
Right.
It's like, I would do anything to avenge you. And the idea of Bruce kind of like sticking to his guns and having principle and knowing, if I did that, there's no going back.
Yeah.
And then just watching Titans just go, I mean, that's cool, but what if we went the other way? What if we just made it where Batman just bludgeons the Joker in Arkham Asylum and then just
I saw a clip of that on YouTube.
Yeah,
like, I killed him, Robin.
Yeah, I killed him. You know what he did when I was beating his brains in?
I really want to see, who's that? Who did he play in Game of Thrones? Jorah? Or he didn't play Jorah?
He's Jorah Mormont.
Yeah. I want to see him in the bat costume. Never seen that. But.
You don't. Like, you never see him in the bat costume. I don't think he's actually put on a bat costume and everything else. He's only just been in a suit, which, I mean, must be an easy job. This must really be an easy job for the actor, just because whenever you see him, he's on the phone. He's always like chilling in like a chair with like some scotch and a cigar.
How old is he supposed to be in that show? Like 60?
He's like probably in his like 50s.
Okay.
He's probably like in his like mid to late 50s, because Dick Grayson's already in his 20s.
Yeah, like Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Also, Batman's just kind of Batman's a sociopath. Like they I feel like whoever created the show did not understand Batman, and really they're telling a Batman story about Jason Todd because I guess in Titans they're just like the only interesting people are the Bat family, so like we don't need to worry about Beast Boy or Starfire or any of these other characters, and they just kind of like Dick Grayson's on the Bat computer and then he just sees like Jason Todd has been dead for like a week, and Bruce is already looking for new recruits. Like you see Carrie Kelly, Luke Fox, you see like all these
Tim
other
Drake.
people.
Yeah.
Not even Tim Drake's not even on the list. It was just like
wow.
Carrie Kelly, Cassie Kane, all these other people, and then like Bruce Wayne walks in and Dick's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Potential recruits." It's like, Jason just died.
Yeah.
You jerk. Like
wow.
what? Like have a little remorse.
Yeah.
For it, and
exactly.
He's just like, this is a war. And I feel like
that's too fanatical for Batman.
Yeah, it's way too fanatical. Not only that, but also the idea that because Bruce never wanted to bring these kids in. Like Bruce is like, if Bruce had to do it alone, Bruce would do it alone.
Yeah.
The only reason he brings these kids in is because he sees himself in them, and he realizes that the only way they can get past their trauma is to deal with it, and he wants to be that father figure towards them.
Directed somewhere.
Yeah, direct it somewhere so he puts him into crime fighting so that way they don't go nuts with this like rage that they have and everything else, and then he's able to channel it and put it onto something good. Whereas this one is just like he's just like kind of like a child soldier, like he's like down for child soldiers and he's just like, yeah, I'm in. Like I'm trying to make a bunch of child soldiers and like send them send them at villains, and if they die, they die, and everything else. And it's so weird because they get because they're using the Hush idea, but like they're brainwashing. Like Scarecrow has brainwashed Jason Todd, and he just hates Batman, and it's so wonky. It's so weird. And then not only that, but then also you're putting like while all this is going on with Jason Todd, you're dealing with Blackfire. And you're just like, okay, so like, which one is more important? Here
they don't juggle storylines well.
They're not
like Batman the animated series. Bring
like
it back to that.
Yeah, not like Batman. Sorry for my rant.
No, that's all.
He brought up Titans and it triggered.
Yeah,
it just triggered something in me where I was like, I feel like I need to talk about.
You either make, I guess one of our listeners, and then I guess he was a guest one time, or he was a guest at one time. Noah Garcia, he loves Titans, but he's either going to be really happy or really mad listening to this. So sorry, Noah.
He really likes Titans, doesn't he?
I think he really likes Titans. Yeah, I think I haven't seen if he said he liked this season, but anyway.
I'm not saying you're wrong. If you liked it, this season, I can see there's some.
I'll have to ask. Like,
so there's a lot to like in it, but there's also there's definitely way more to hate.
For sure. But Eternal Youth, any other thoughts?
Not really. I mean, I really enjoy the episodes. Like I said, I really do like these Alfred-centric stories.
Yeah.
And I believe
I like this version of Alfred, too.
I do like this.
He's like he was just like his wit. He's so dry. You know, that joke where he's like, I drew you a bath. It's just like to fuck with him. There's like no point of him like just drawing a bath and then like not.
Yeah. I think his humor is perfect, and I feel like. Because, when I saw this Batman, I think is like the perfect Michael Caine. Like, and I think that's why when we got Michael Caine as Batman in, what was it, The Dark Knight? Batman Begins. I think that's why we liked him so much.
Right.
Because he reminded us of the animated series Batman.
Yeah.
Because he has that dry wit. He has that, like, sarcasm. He has that, like, that very much parental, like, I know how to guide you through this.
Yeah, the Jeremy Irons one was kind of like, a little funny, but certainly didn't have that Michael Caine wit.
Yeah, he doesn't have that same wit.
I'm interested to see the Andy Serkis one. That's going to be cool.
I think that, because Andy Serkis does have wit. Yeah. Andy Serkis can pull off witty very, very well. He can also pull off sarcastic as well. So I really do like when Batman and Alfred kind of bicker like an old married couple.
Yeah.
Where like
it's
Batman,
where
Batman will say something where he's doing something, he's just like, "Oh yay!"
Right.
Like this is a great idea. Yeah. Why don't we hire more children to do our bidding?
Yeah.
And everything else, but yeah. So I mean, I really enjoy this. I think there's like 2 more in the series.
Okay.
Of, like Alfred episodes. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, I think there's like 2 to 3
There
more.
probably is.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I guess we'll find out. Keep watching it.
Yeah, and everything else. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think you guys really enjoyed it. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys liked about the episode. If you didn't like the episode, do you want to see more Alfred? What do you guys think of Andy Serkis? Like, do you think he's gonna be good? Do you think he's gonna be like Schmeagol in like an outfit, in like a butler suit, which I think would be
It would, yeah. Just like he has a lot of range, so
he has a lot of range. I mean, we
put him in a mocap costume.
put him in a mocap costume and make him Robo Alfred. I don't know. I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him as Spiegel and everything else. Speaking of which, people are saying they're really liking the Paul Dano.
Oh yeah, it was really yeah. There's been some test screenings that have went out, and people are saying really good things about it. Like he's a horror movie character, which is for the Riddler. Really interesting. They made him like Jigsaw or something.
Well, they made him the Zodiac.
The Zodiac
Killer.
yeah.
They essentially just made him the Zodiac Killer, and because like apparently like he murders people. He murders like public officials that are like corrupt in Gotham.
There's a lot.
And then,
There's a lot of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna have like a vigilante that's killing people, Gotham is definitely a place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you have a lot of targets. But yeah, people are saying they're really liking it. They're enjoying the movie. They're saying that Paul Reeves and Robert Pattinson's Batman is super good.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I mean, this is early.
Yeah.
This is raw screenings.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like without special effects. This is without what was it, like probably like cleaning up the picture and everything like that. Like it's just the movies put together. It probably might not even have a score yet.
Yeah, I could have a temp track. Yeah, at this point. Yeah.
It might not have like the full score just yet, because that would make sense. I think like just like a. But I wouldn't be surprised if for like a temp track they were using like old music. Like they might just like if they have a new Batman theme, they might just be using an old Batman theme.
Right, maybe some more Nirvana needle drops.
Some more needle drops.
That was a great needle drop in that trailer. I've seen that trailer so many times.
Yeah,
I love it.